what's up, everybody? Welcome into another edition of Dose of OJ. I'm Josh. That's Owen. You can find us on Twitter at JoshBUSN and at Owen_Watterson because Josh USN was taken. And
Taken.
Don't forget the second T in Owen_Watterson. So welcome to the show. We have a piggyback topic from the last episode. Now, last episode we talked about our worst personal habits, and now we're gonna get the show started with firing shots at people.
Josh, I actually want you to go first on this topic too, by the way.
Okay, I have no problem doing that. My first one, bona fide number one, is, as you would say, don't ever fucking lie to me.
Yeah.
You lie to me? Oh. So, like, I'm not talking about like, hey, did you get me anything for my birthday? No, I didn't get you anything. Well, did you? No, I didn't. And then my birthday comes and like, here you go. Like, I don't care about those things. Like little white lies. Like, I don't care about those. But like, if I'm like, hey, so what are you doing after work today? And you're like, oh man, I got so much stuff to do. I'm not gonna be able to hang out, and I can't go to the game. And then 3 hours later, you post a Snapchat doing keg stands at a party. It's like, come on. So yeah, that's my number one. Don't ever lie to me. Or
I've had
grudges.
Do you really?
I hold grudges on those things. Absolutely. Like, I've had an experience. Not gonna name any names. Almost did. I've had.
It was that bad, huh?
Oh yeah. I've had experiences where I was like, okay, like, I don't like that you do this. But don't lie to me and tell me that you're not doing it, because I always find out that you do it. And they're like, okay, I won't. I promise I won't do it anymore. And then 3 hours later, they're doing the same thing. And I'm like, okay, listen, like, I'm past upset now. Like, now I'm just like, you know what? I'll cut my losses and I'll see you later.
Yeah, I can understand that. Mine is actually maybe an off the cuff one. I feel like I say that way too much, but cheaters that openly cheat and just don't care about
Like
other people's
Astros?
Feelings.
Oh, you mean like relationship cheating? Oh,
I meant relationship cheating.
Oh.
I've personally never been through it, nor have I ever done it, or it would be kind of.
Oh, dude, it's the worst.
I hate seeing. I've seen plenty of friends go through it, and it's not something you want to see anyone go through.
I've been cheated on in every single relationship I've been in except one.
If you're a cheater, you're the scum of the earth.
Oh, 100%.
Pretty much.
100%.
Yeah.
And so here's the thing. What goes along with cheating is lying.
True.
So now you
True.
can
Also, I'm not sure if you're a Friends guy, but were Ross and Rachel on a break?
I've been told that line too.
You've never seen Friends, have you?
No, I have.
Okay.
I have, but I want to relate this back. I want to relate this back to this discussion.
Okay.
I've been in that scenario where the girl has said, okay, I just need a break. And my dumbass was like, okay, I'll give you space. and then, we hang out the next time a week later, and I'm like, so, like, how are you? And they're like, well, I've been thinking a lot about us, and I've been just taking time to find myself. And then next thing you know, person X is absolutely shit canned, and her phone is buzzing nonstop. And I look at it, and it's some dude, and it's not like, hey, wondered if you got the papers for the meeting tomorrow. Like, there's no such thing.
They're asking Also, or should girls be allowed to have guy best friends, Josh?
So, I don't think I'm really permitted to answer this question.
Okay.
Because
I need you to explain as to why.
So from very early on, like, my first girlfriend was like, oh, we're best friends. Okay. She cheated on me with him.
Oh, no.
So from then on, I'm like, no fucking best friends. No best
See,
friends.
but that's reasonable, though.
Right, but I also think that like I wasn't necessarily fair with
Okay.
the next
Okay.
people.
Okay, true. That makes
But
sense.
I
Okay,
will say
because
like
I know April has a friend, right? And you know, it basically what I'm trying to say is it depends on the person and the situation. Like April has a friend, one of her guy best friends. They've lived near each other their whole life. Like they've grown up together, and they're
mhm.
strictly just friends. And you know that if you knew them. And you know, some dudes that I know that has come across this girl have not taken it the best way. um, so, but I also know situations like you said where the exact same thing you just said happened. So it all depends on the person. But I'm more of a stray away from that kind of thing unless
Well,
you're
so
for
like
sure.
here's the thing for me is I have my absolute best friend. Um, we started hanging out like senior year of high school, and he was like, "Yeah, like we're all hanging out. Do you want to come to my girlfriend's house? Like we're all it's going to be a big thing." And I'm like, "Yeah, absolutely." So we go over there, and I sort of knew his girlfriend, and I'm just the type of guy that like I'm never going to be weird with someone else's
Yeah.
girlfriend. Like I'm the type of guy that if you and April were standing next to each other and I came up and I knew both of you equally, even if I knew her more than you, I'm saying hey to you first. I'm dabbing you up first and then I say hi to April. To me, that's a sign of respect. Like, hey bro, I this is your girlfriend. I, there's nothing weird
Yeah.
going on here. Like I want us to make sure that we're boys and that's it.
Yeah.
So we've had that conversation before. Like I've gone places with this girl like alone, like with each other. But it was on the terms of like we both knew that I'm not the type of person to do something weird.
Mm-hmm.
And we've had that conversation like because I asked him one time, I'm like, so do you like if you left and it was just me and her, like would you care? He's like, no, dude, I trust you 100%. I trust her 100%. No, I wouldn't care. And then I asked him about somebody else, and he was like, 1,000% no. No chance would I leave them alone. And honestly, I think it's a culture thing. I think it's the way
Yeah.
that we've kind of like grown up. Um, there's not a ton of faith out there. Like there's the faithfulness is it's few and far between if we're being
Yeah.
honest.
To get off this, I don't know, sad topic. I guess we're talking about cheating for God's sakes. I have another really bad pet peeve that really just pisses me off when people, especially in big cities, right, on crosswalks, when people decide that they're just going to stop what they're doing in the middle of the street.
Dude, well, first of all, it's like, do you want to get hit by a car?
Exactly.
Do you want to? Is that something you're interested in today?
And then there's the
Um,
Karens that want to yell at you for almost hitting them because they
so
stopped in the middle of the street.
right. So I guess I'll branch off of that and say that I can't stand people who are walking and just decide. I guess it's the same thing, but who are people who are walking and like just decide to stop. They don't even make an effort to like move to the side or they
Yeah,
don't. They're
that's a
not
pretty bad one
conscious of
too.
people that are behind them.
I got another one for you. Loud chewing. That's
Ooh.
a pretty bad one. Loud chewing's not one that I'm very fond of. Unprotected sneezes.
I thought you were gonna say something else.
Unprotected.
Oh man.
Practice safe sex, people. But unprotected sneezes,
Yeah, no, like, do you got
Josh.
like give me a dab real quick? Come
Or
on.
okay, when I sneeze, especially when I'm out in public, I take the top of my shirt, put it over my nose, I just sneeze into my shirt so that for sure, for certain, it has gone to nobody but me.
Well, I like this
Always.
one. I like this one. What's up, dude? High five? You're like, no.
Yeah, see that's I see
I just
people
saw
do that,
you.
but then that's why I don't like that one because then you got to find something to clean your hands with. You do it in your shirt, you're
Yeah.
just chilling.
And then if
You're just
some
chilling.
snot gets on it, it's on your chest. You're like, yeah, whatever. I'll just rub it in.
It could be worse. At least it's not on my hand that I'm about to touch you with, you
Right.
weirdo.
Yeah.
Right. Right. Do you have any
So
other pet peeves that you really hate?
I mean, I have a lot. We could do a whole episode on this thing. Um, I have a pet peeve of people who, and I guess this goes back to the relationship thing, but like, it's just funny. It annoys me. People who, like, if they fall asleep with their socks on, they take off their socks in the middle of the night, but they leave them in the bed. I don't know why. I
Okay, I'm
don't.
not gonna lie, I've done that like a bunch of times in the past, always by accident because if you sleep with socks, I don't know that I could ever like you.
100%.
I don't
100%.
know that I could ever trust you if you sleep in socks. Like there's been a few times that I was so tired that I fell asleep with socks on, but if I'm going to lay down in bed for the night, I'll be damned if my socks are on. So sometimes they just end up on the bed, but no, I don't like leaving them in the bed.
Um, Another one is people who don't let a song finish.
I'm that person. I can't
No,
even I'm
like,
that
so
person.
let
I'm
me
bad about that.
clarify though. Like, there's a difference between the song being 2 minutes and 30 seconds and you skip it at 2 minutes and 20 seconds or 2 minutes and 15 seconds. Like the outro is playing and there's no good parts left. Then somebody going, "Oh, that first verse was sick." Next, like, listen, we didn't even get to the good part of the song yet.
I'm listen. I'm that person. I listen to so much music. I've heard so much stuff that I listen to the first part. I get my vibe out for that song. I'm like, I want to listen to the next song.
Yeah.
Now, if it's certain songs, like to me, it's sacrilegious to skip. If we're in the middle of Stairway to Heaven and you skip it, I'm punching you in the face. I mean, you can't skip Stairway to Heaven ever. Same with I don't know. Most of these are rock songs, by the way. I don't know, like legendary
Mhm.
guitar solos. Freebird. If you skip Freebird, I'm punching you in the face. Maybe somewhere else
Bohemian
because it's
Rhapsody.
Freebird. That's I was literally about to say Bohemian Rhapsody because the best part of Bohemian Rhapsody isn't to the end. You know, you got to
Right.
wait. You got to
Right.
wait for the the Galileo, Galileo, and then you got to wait. You wait for
Yeah.
the build up. That's the best part of those type of songs. But some stuff, I'm just like, I want to hear something else now.
I also another pet peeve is people who are late.
Dude, I was gonna say that one. People who are like chronically late,
Yeah, no, like, I'm not
chronically
talking
late.
about like, "Hey man, I'm sorry I'm late," like the bunch of traffic, I didn't expect it, or "Sorry I'm late, it's just a bad day, woke up late." No problem. People who stroll in, if you got to be somewhere at 9, they stroll in at 9:15 on a consistent basis, and then they wonder why the hell you're like, "Fucking nice to see you today." Like, I hope you got some sleep. Hope you stopped at a place somewhere for breakfast or something, because like, you being late better have been worth it.
Another my last pet peeve. Actually, I have two more. I have two more, and then I'm gonna end it. People that watch or listen to music. So, like, I'm talking about watching videos or listening to music in public with no headphones in as loud
Oh
as they
my
can. Just walking
gosh,
around.
dude.
That's the worst.
Oh,
Like, you're the worst type of person.
there
Now,
was
if
a
you're in your
guy at the
car,
gym. Go ahead, sorry.
if you're in your car going down the street, I love to listen to music loud. Who other people who have their windows down are going to hear it for like 10 seconds, maybe. But if we're in public in a walking space, I can't tell you how many people do it in New York City, by the way. It's the
Oh
worst,
yeah.
but I hate that one.
There was a guy at the gym I used to work out at, and he would bring in a Bluetooth speaker.
Oh, no.
And I'm like, "Bro, you're jacked, okay? But that doesn't give you an excuse to be a douche fuck." Like,
A douche fuck. That's a new
br-
word to me.
bring a douche canoe, that's another one. Bring headphones, dude. Like, if the gym needs to chip in to buy you headphones so you don't bring in this bullshit anymore, great. But he would be like, he would put it down, like, if he was doing squats, he'd put it down on the squat rack, and you could hear him. It would be like the beat would start, and he'd be like, "No, no, 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 skip, skip,
Yeah.
skip," and I'm like, "Bro."
It's just like a combination of a couple things, just the
Yeah.
worst. And then my last one, have you ever met someone that just always and constantly and forever bashes every single thing that you like?
Yeah, a lot of people.
I just can't vibe with that pessimistic energy. Like, be
I think it's
optimistic
just
in my
negative
space
people
or
in
get
general.
out. I don't know. I'm definitely negative. I don't want to say I'm negative
Yeah, but there's a
sometimes.
difference between like,
I'm like negative internally sometimes, but I try almost always to try and be positive on the
yeah.
outside.
Or
You
okay,
know,
last pet peeve. I know we've been on this topic for quite a while.
this is a
So
good topic though.
if you're still here, we appreciate you. Uh, the last one that I have is people who want help, or like they're like, I need help, but then they don't accept your help. Like they reject it. Like if you came to me and you were like, man, I want to talk to you about this. It's just crazy situation, and I'm like, okay, well, and you asked me point blank, you're like, can you help me with this? And I was like, all right, man. Well, I hear you. So what if you did this? And you're like, that's not gonna work. I go, okay, well,
Why'd you ask?
so then what if you did maybe that, maybe not that, but what if you did this? Like, man, I don't even know why I talked to you. None of that's gonna work. It's like, you know what? Go fuck yourself, okay? Because you asked me. You asked me.
Oh yeah,
I'm
moving
on
off
one
this
today.
topic. You are on one today. That was a good starting topic, man. That was a good, moving on from the what was the last one? Worst habits,
Yeah.
right? Just kind of spinning off of that. Moving on to the second episode of our new segment, favorite Twitter trends of the day. I have one for sure, Josh, and I'll go first
Okay.
if you don't mind, since
Yeah.
you started with the pet peeves. I'm gonna start out with the most obvious one. And I'm gonna keep it kind of brief because I know you guys don't want to hear about soccer for 20 minutes. I get it. I understand the want of the people, but Liverpool, the Reds of Anfield, over in the English Premier League, finally won the title today. Their first Premier League title and their first top flight title since 1990. It's been a long time coming since Jurgen Klopp has been there. Sadio Mane, Mo Salah, Roberto Firmino, everybody there. Allison, the whole 9 yards. Jurgen Klopp has done a fantastic job of building that team. They won the Champions League, and now they've won the Premier League. Finally, they can win the Champions League, but not the Premier League. I don't say it because I'm happy for them. As an Arsenal fan, it's painful to watch because their fans, even though one of my best friends is a really big Liverpool fan, he pisses me off really bad. And their fan base is kind of toxic sometimes, but congrats to you guys. I will await the day to finally say that Arsenal have won again. But, you guys can't say you're better than us because you didn't go invincible. We did. Love you, Liverpool. Congrats that you won.
So I heard today, and maybe I heard this wrong, but Liverpool won by like a ridiculous margin. Like they basically won to the equivalent of like the Cubs finishing the season, like clinching the best record with like 15 games left.
Yeah, basically.
That's
I
nuts.
mean,
They're so
it's
that's straight dominance. I
I
know
don't
that you just said like you didn't go undefeated, but like if you
they
clinched it
lost
that
one
far in
game.
advance.
They lost one game all
So what's the
season.
record?
I'm about to pull up the table. I know the point total was pretty far. So Liverpool, there are 7 matches left. Not all teams have played 31 yet, so some teams have games in hand.
Oh
But
my
for the most
god. So
part,
they're like 24-1.
they have 28 wins, 2 draws, and 1 loss,
Oh my god. They're a wagon, dude.
and 31 games played.
They are
Yeah,
so good.
they have 86 points. Man City have 63 with the same amount of
Damn.
games played. Yeah,
Oh,
yeah, they won by a lot.
I'm a
So I
Liverpool fan. I'm Kevin
stop,
Duranting Liverpool.
stop, stop! Don't.
I'm just, I'm just kidding.
it. I'll tell you what. I just said his name. If you could tell me the name of their manager,
No, dude, I have no idea. I'm just fucking
then
around.
you can't
I
be a
don't
fan.
care.
You don't care. You don't care.
No.
Anyway, shout out Arsenal. Also, always make my life worse by finally beating a team today, Southampton, and now they're ninth in the table. Still have no chance at Europe, and a constant revolving door of sadness as a Arsenal fan. But Josh, let me get out of my misery. Talk about your favorite trend of the day.
So mine, I almost skipped past it because it said technology. And I'm like, oh, okay, weird. I'll just scroll back. Oh my God, look what it says. It said Amazon Arena. And I'm like, oh, cool. They got the naming rights. They got the naming rights for the new Seattle NHL team. It's going to be Amazon Arena. That's awesome. And then I go to it and I read the story. and Amazon bought the rights to it, but it's not called Amazon Arena.
That's strange.
I'm blanking on it. It's this is what I get for not taking notes before the show. It's like climate something
Climate control arena. Is that what it
It's
is?
not climate control arena.
I saw that on the trends earlier. I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. Really dropping the ball on this one.
What's new though?
But yeah, pretty much. But I'm like, I said something. I tweeted this out. I'm not gonna lie. I was dying when I was typing out this tweet. It was I put it in quotes like a broadcaster was saying it, and I'll do the impression. It's like, welcome to Seattle, Washington, where tonight the Chicago Blackhawks are gonna take on the Seattle Solar Panels. It's like, come on, man. Like, just name it Amazon Arena. Just name it.
The fact that Staples has one of the most famous arenas in the world and Amazon is yet to have a big stadium.
Well, they
named,
just had their shot, and Bezos was like, "I'm not naming it Amazon. I have a mission. It's going to be."
Did he say why?
For their climate reform, their climate control efforts.
Jeff, man, you missed a golden opportunity. This could have brought basketball back to Seattle.
Amazon Arena, like, it just sounds cool.
Imagine the Seattle Supersonics come back to the NBA playing in Amazon Arena. Imagine that.
Well, I guess get ready for the Seattle solar panels because they're coming.
Oh, man. Moving on to a new thing that we're doing for today. Favorite sports heroes. All time.
Yeah, let's
in
just
any
be
sport.
transparent. There's not a lot going on today.
We're pulling stuff out, but we got this. We're pulling stuff out of there, but we got this. We got this.
So if I said, I'll start with your favorite sport. If I said NBA, who's your top, the number one guy that comes to mind?
This is rough because there are multiple and many. The one that has had. So, okay, we have to define this now. Mm-hmm. Is it our favorite player ever, like the one that has had the most impact on us as a fan, or?
Okay. Yeah. No, because we can have this discussion when sports are back, because right now I'm so like not there. Like I couldn't tell you 7 players on the Bulls right now. I can't. But I can tell you my favorite players by sport of all time. So yeah, we'll go all time. Yeah.
All time in the NBA, it has to be LeBron. And I only say that just because he's the reason I started watching the NBA. He was what drew me to start watching the NBA when I was younger.
That age group, though.
Yeah, I mean, I hate to say it because by no means am I a crazy LeBron fan or anything like that, but from the time that I've been an NBA fan, seeing the impact that he's had from start to finish almost has been incredible to watch. And that's why when people hate on greats in any sport, really, I'm not a fan of it. The whole Jordan, LeBron thing, just appreciate greatness. We don't have to hate any of them.
LeBron is your Jordan, if you think about it.
Yeah, he is. And not to say, I think Jordan's a better player. I mean, I will say there's literally a Michael Jordan jersey hanging behind me. I mean, for all intents and purposes, I'm not a stan, but LeBron is the reason I started watching the NBA, and I could never repay him for that.
Right.
So, I have to go with my man. What about you? Do you have a favorite NBA player?
Yeah. So, if we're talking about favorite player to watch, or favorite player or favorite, like, the biggest impact, which one are we going off of?
I'd say biggest impact.
This is going to be a really unpopular answer, but it's Kirk Heinrich.
Really?
It's Kirk Heinrich because I was never tall. Like, I'm 6'3" now, and I was 6'3" after I played.
Just dropped the mic, literally. Sorry.
No, you're good. So yeah, it's Kirk Heinrich because I wanted to be a point guard, and he was the most prominent white point guard in the league, and he had He was a great point guard. Like he
Yeah, he
was.
really was.
They called him Captain Kirk for a reason, and also he went to Kansas, Rock Chalk. But I loved watching him play because he didn't do anything crazy fancy. Like he was a guy that got the job done. And then when I played basketball, I didn't do anything fancy ever. I think my best attribute in basketball was my shot. But
Can I tell you a quick sidebar about the
yeah.
most impressive thing I've ever done in basketball that still stands out to me this day? I'll say two, actually, because there are two that stand out because I didn't have very many great basketball achievements. um, I was not the greatest at basketball. I always thought I was a lot better than I was, but nonetheless, when I was like 14, I remember seeing some stuff on Instagram. This is what I would do because I didn't start playing basketball to my like 8th grade year.
Mm-hmm.
I always played baseball growing up. So I started playing, and I remember seeing the way I'd learn moves is I'd watch people, I'd play 2K, and when I'd see a move, I'd go outside and do it till I learned it. So I went to Clemson basketball camp one year. Brad Brunell, Clemson basketball camp, did the whole week thing. I was like 14, maybe. And we were playing in a scrimmage, and I come down the lane. I did a behind the back
Oh,
to move it around a defender, and then laid it up. Had
oh,
everybody in the gym going crazy.
oh.
That was the greatest. That was like up there. Remember, I'm like 14 years.
Yeah,
That
yeah.
was like
But when
6
you're
years ago,
14, dude, you cross somebody
dude. When
over.
I was
It's
14,
everything.
and dude, I'll never forget. One of the guys that was on the high school basketball team was there. He started going crazy and looked right at me. I was like, just gain some respect.
It's just that street
It's a
cred.
great feeling. This is a street cred. That's all I cared about.
Yeah, I have something similar. I guess I wasn't gonna tell the story, but now we gotta be on the same level. So, uh, nothing major, a YMCA league.
These are such bad stories.
Yeah. But so the competition, like I was dribbling wise and just as a basketball IQ, I was above the competition. No, like I wasn't like dropping 50, but like I was above the competition.
Mhm.
So I'm a point guard, right? And other team scores. I'm walking the ball up, and dude, I felt so good about this. I waved the rest of the offense.
Oh
I showed this
shoot.
kid, and I did a quick ball was in my right hand. I did a quick crossover to my left and crossed right back over to my right, and
Hmm.
he fell. I laid this ball up, and the crowd, which was probably 15 strong, went went nuts. Like
uh,
the bench was like, oh! I was like, yo.
dude,
It
these are such impressive basketball stories, man. We're living the glory days.
felt so good. Wait till we start talking about baseball. I got a bunch of stories about that one.
Oh God,
Yeah,
we'll
no,
go to
it's Kurt
baseball
Ryan.
next.
It's
We'll
Kurt
go to
Ryan.
baseball next. I'm gonna let you go first on this one.
So, most impactful for me, um, again, a pretty unpopular answer, but it's probably Mark Burley.
Okay.
I was a pitcher my entire life. And if you're like, okay, well, Mark Burley, that's a cop out. You were a pitcher. It's Maglio Ordonez. That was my favorite player on the White Sox, and I loved watching him play. The OEO Maglio chant at Comiskey Park and then U.S. Cellular was amazing. But Mark Burley, I learned how to throw a circle changeup because of him. I pitched fast because of him. Um, my windup wasn't his. My windup was really slow and kind of compact, but I loved watching him pitch. Again, kind of a similar thing. He wasn't overpowering. He wasn't going to blow you away with 95 or 99,
Mm-hmm.
but he's going to methodically get you out. I didn't throw that hard all the time. So yeah, I could relate easily.
I'm trying to think of one that really had the biggest impact on me because I think it's a cop out to say Jeter or something like that because I didn't play shortstop even when I played baseball. Um, honestly, I'm gonna have to go with Albert Pujols. Genuinely, Albert
Yeah,
Pujols.
I know. So like St. Louis absolutely adores them. So I don't hate it.
Here's my reasoning why. Albert Pujols, he's old as fuck now, but when I was playing baseball when I was younger, Albert Pujols was in his prime, one of the best first basemen in the MLB. And even though he wasn't left-handed like I am, I remember when I was growing up, coaches always told me, "Oh, you're left-handed, you're gonna have a great chance at first base." So that's kind of where I grew up playing, and then I got moved around, and that's kind of why I stopped playing baseball. But because I love first base so much, watching Albert Pujols play when I was a kid was the greatest thing ever. I
You
loved
should have
Albert
what you should
Pujols.
have done instead of going to that basketball camp at 14, you should have went to a pitching camp because you're left-handed. You could have gone to the show.
Just for being a lefty, come on now.
Dude,
I couldn't throw
well,
fast. I tried pitching. I tried pitching.
now that the game is progressing into like they're not really being specialty pitchers anymore, probably not. But like you never know.
I don't know. Growing up in the high school leagues or something, it probably still gives you a little bit of an advantage if you have a good one. But like you said, once you start going up in baseball nowadays, there's not much more of an advantage now because everybody has the analytics. They know what to do against it. It's not so special anymore. But where are we going to next? NFL?
Yeah, let's go NFL. You can go first.
Cam Newton.
I expected that.
It's
Cam
not
Newton,
close.
and
It's not close. It's I don't know. Can I say Joe Webb? I don't even know if you know who Joe Webb is.
I don't. I'm not
You know
gonna
who
lie,
Joe
I don't
Webb
know.
is?
No.
Joe Webb, the third, mind you, played at UAB. He was our third string quarterback in Carolina for multiple years. I have a customized Joe Webb jersey that he personally signed.
Oh,
Pretty
that's
sure it was
sick.
the only personal jersey he's ever signed. I'll go off on another story just because this is hilarious. Me and one of my friends were at Carolina Panthers training camp. It's in Spartanburg, which is about 30, 40 minutes away from me, where Wofford is. Do you remember when Wofford was in the tournament
Yep.
a couple years ago? Fletcher McGee? Yeah, that's where they have their training camp. So we went over there to watch them, and it was like right after I had gotten this Joe Webb jersey. Actually, I have it hanging down below me. And after training camp, that's the only reason I wanted to go, just so Joe Webb gets on my jersey, because I was like 14, 15, maybe. I was still really young,
Mm-hmm.
and I've had it. I've had it ever since. He comes down. He comes down from the top of the field. They had just finished throwing drills. They were about to go back to the locker room. Training camp was over for the day, and I go flying, like I'm telling you, full on sprint, flying down the field to catch Joe Webb. And I remember there was a crowd of people. He was already signing stuff, and I run up with my jersey in my hand, going, "Joe, dude!" And everybody turns around and looks at me, see that I have his jersey, and they all just kind of let me go to the front because they're like, "Dude, this dude's dedicated. This guy's dedicated." And dude, when I'm telling you, his eyes lit up like it was Christmas. I'm not lying to you. I'm pretty convinced it was the first time that a fan, not like a family member, I'm talking about a fan that he didn't know, come up to him with his jersey.
I'll tell you what. I'm going to publicize this. Speak it into existence. Let's get Joe Webb the third on the podcast.
I swear to God, if we were able to get Joe Webb on the podcast, I'd lose my mind.
Let's do it. Let's do it. Let's do it. I'm making this public. We'll try and get Joe Webb the third on the podcast.
We have to talk about that. I wonder if he remembers it. Oh man, I remember DMing him on Instagram before the game.
What's up, bro? I just want you to know I love you, and I hope you really do good today.
I was like, man, is there anywhere I can meet you to sign this jersey in his DMs before training camp? But Cam Newton is the answer. I love number one with all my heart. The entire existence that I've been a Carolina Panthers fan, Cam Newton has been there, except for maybe a year or two beforehand when I was really young and don't remember much Panthers football. Because you got to remember, guys, I'm only 20. I'm still young. So I don't even know what to say about him that I haven't said like a zillion times anywhere else on the internet. So I'll just let it be. If you don't know me, then just go look through my Twitter. I'm sure you'll find it.
For me, it's Devin Hester.
No way.
Yeah, it's
really?
Definitely it's Devin Hester because he kind of – now, I know people are going to be like, well, the Bears defense, Lance Briggs, Brian Urlacher, Charles Tillman. I get it. But in my opinion, for me, Devin Hester made the Bears more exciting. Like the return specialist, the god of punt and kick returns made
I'll tell you, having kick returners and punt returners like that, just holding your breath every time they catch the ball because you always think there's a chance is one of the best feelings
It's
in the world.
amazing. And then
It's the greatest.
I was upset when they tried to put him in the slot as receiver. I'm like, just pay him to kick return. That's all I want. Don't put him as a receiver. Like they
Don't hurt
wanted
him.
they what?
I said, don't hurt him. He
Yeah,
knows what
like
he does best. Let him do it.
they wanted to put him in the slot like as a gadget guy, like a Tariq Cohen kind of. And it just
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, it just didn't work. Like I don't know, it just didn't make any sense. So yeah, I mean, and oh my God, the kick return to start off the Super Bowl against the Colts. Oh, it was the most
Yeah.
electric thing I've ever experienced in my life.
What was I'm not sure if it was Devin Hester or not. I really don't know if it was. It was an Eagles player. No, it was Deshaun Jackson that I'm thinking of. That Christmas time return to end the game, I think, for
Mm-hmm.
Philly. You know what kicker return? I thought that was Deshaun Jackson or Devin Hester for some reason. But nonetheless, moving on to NHL, where I'm sure you have a favorite, and I don't. So I'm just gonna
You
I'm
don't have a
picking
favorite at
hockey.
all?
Uh, I don't know. I can't name you very many hockey players. There
Yeah,
we
I mean,
go.
no, it's fair. I just didn't know. I didn't know if you had one. So the
Can I
cop
say
out
Wayne
answer.
Gretzky?
Yeah, but you did see it's not impacting your hockey fandom.
Good point.
For me, so the cop out answer is Patrick Kane because watching this guy is an absolute treat. Like every single game, he's a magician. But my favorite hockey player of all time is Duncan Keith.
Really?
There's a common theme here. Doesn't do anything fancy. He's not he's not crazy huge. He doesn't score 300 goals a year. He doesn't he doesn't go nuts in the points. He just
Mm-hmm.
does his job. Like he's a shutdown defender. That's what he is. And I every single time that I've gone to a Hawks game, when he's on the ice, I don't watch the puck.
You just watch him.
I watch him. Dude, it's amazing. His hockey IQ, his ability to play angles is what really gets me. Like if you were to pay attention to Duncan Keith back skating, he his feet are in certain areas depending on what he thinks is going to his anticipation and what the player on attack is going to do. It's nuts. And I know like people are like, well, yeah, duh, he's in the NHL. It's supposed to be that way. But if you really paid attention to his game, it's at a different level. And he's going to play till he's 45 years old.
Yeah, that makes sense. Since you gave a sport that I couldn't give an answer for, I'm gonna one up you and do one as well. I'm gonna talk about soccer. Lionel Messi. I mean, come on, little magician. You can think Ronaldo's better if you want. If you're soccer fans, you know what I'm talking about. If you don't, just listen for a second. Lionel Messi is the best soccer player that I've ever seen. Period. Barcelona, for Argentina. If you want to talk about his trophies, you can do as you want. It doesn't take away from the fact that his skill on the ball, from free kicks, from the penalty spot, not when it matters, though. That's the only fault I have against him. Um, he's just electric, always has been, and he never fails to amaze me. He still surprises me to this day when I watch him on the ball in Barcelona games. It's just the dude is magic and is one of the reasons that I appreciate the game of soccer so much is because of guys like him. So it's got to be Lionel Messi. But
Yeah, I don't have an answer for soccer obviously, but I will say like I like watching like the talented players do crazy shit. Like I don't necessarily like to sit through a game of soccer,
mm-hmm.
but if Lionel Messi's is like, "Yo, watch me kick this ball, balance it on my head, do a front flip and bicycle kick it into the goal." I'm down. I'm watching that all day.
I'm telling you, and this is for anybody that wants to try soccer, whatever the case is, once you learn the little not necessities, just learn the nooks and crannies of the game, really. Find out what's important, the little things that everybody do that is special that not many people can, and just appreciate it for what it is, the things that happen. Like you said, with hockey too, the way players move off the ball, with the ball, through the gaps, hold the defensive lines, the goalkeepers, like if you can really build an appreciation for the game and how difficult it really is, soccer comes a lot easier to watch. But
Playing it's
that's just
fun.
my 2 cents. Huh?
Playing it's fun.
Playing it is very
I
fun
like playing it.
until you're out of breath. Then it
Yeah, I mean
sucks.
the cardio, like
That's
back
why I
in the
played
day,
goalkeeper.
back in the back in the day, like we would go play like rec soccer in college, and
Mhm.
I was a bro in college. I'm not gonna lie, but I would be like, bro, I can't go. Like I got to protect the gains. That's too much cardio. Like let me know when we're playing.
Oh my god.
Let me
You
know.
gotta protect the gains.
Let me
It's
let
too
me
much cardio.
let me know when we're playing like pickup softball, and I can just swing and crack bombs and trot around the bases.
Yeah.
I was that guy in college. I'm not afraid to admit it.
Well, since you were that guy in college, you can continue to be that guy in trivia. And let me collect my point by
It's
asking me
six
this
to four.
question.
It's 6-4, and I'm pretty sure I told Owen this before we started recording. I'm pretty sure I've asked you this question already, and I'm gonna feel so dumb if I did.
Please.
Shit, I did. I know for sure, but I don't have another one, so I guess you're getting a free point today. Bobby Cox, the legendary Atlanta Braves manager, leads the major leagues in history. Wow, that's not how you say it. In World Series appearances. What else does he lead the major leagues in?
Bobby Cox, the former Atlanta Braves. You haven't asked me this question before, by the way.
I thought I did. I thought I did for sure, but
Can you repeat that question? It was kind of confusing.
I know. Yeah, I'm pretty dumb. So, Bobby Cox, the legendary Atlanta Braves manager, leads managers in MLB history in World Series appearances. What other category does Bobby Cox lead managers in MLB history in? Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay.
Mm, just the ones in the MLB right now or in history,
Of
I
all
guess
time.
is what you said. It can't be wins, right? It can't be wins. There's no way. I honestly, I really don't know. This was a good question. Um, okay, so he leads the MLB in history in World Series appearances. Really?
Mm-hmm.
As a manager.
Yes.
Okay, then I gotta say wins.
Incorrect.
What is it then?
It's ejections.
Oh my god, that's the lamest thing. That would have been the last thing that I thought about.
But is it though?
I guess it makes a lot of sense now that you've said it, but 10 seconds ago, I wouldn't have thought of that. I
I
wouldn't have thought of that.
hand up. I got to come up with a better question.
It wasn't worded very well. It wasn't a
Yeah,
bad
yeah,
question
that's what I
in
mean.
Premise.
That's
Yeah, it wasn't a bad question.
so
But that's
so
about
wait, here's what we do. Hold on. So we talked about this last episode because you gave me the Constantinople question that I pulled out of my ass.
okay.
So I'm pretty sure you've gotten three questions wrong in a row.
I think I have, yeah.
So now do we go to a non-sports related question? Do we go to general trivia?
Maybe we do just go to general trivia. Fuck it. Let's just do who's stopping us?
Nobody.
General trivia. We're about to take it down,
Ping
actually.
pong ain't got nothing on me.
It's gonna be great, guys. Thanks for watching and listening to Dose of OJ. I'm Owen Watterson at Owen_Watterson with 2 T's. Don't forget that second T, please. Or don't talk to me at Josh BUSN because Josh USN was taken.
Take it.
And then there's Dose of OJ Pod on all other platforms, guys. We appreciate you listening. Don't forget to like, rate, subscribe, follow the podcast wherever you're listening, and we will see you guys next time.